Hey folks, this is Price is Wrong with Battle Vortex, the Battle Pirate Show for Battle Vortex. I'm kind of put together. This is like the first time we're doing anything like this, where it's just basically just a like a quick special. I know we've had a lot of requests for, I guess for more, I guess compact information in the shows. So this is something I'm really doing for, all the alliances, all the players out there that play Battle Pirates that are, want to try to help educate the newer players. And of course, we're here to help the newer players as well. So it's the whole point of this video. This particular special is going to be all about, well, maybe not all about subs, but we're primarily going to be focusing on visibility of subs using Sonar. I know with the new thermal stuff is really cut and dry, but the Sonar stuff, I think, kind of a lot of people just really aren't all that sure about it just yet. So, and I was one of those actually until I started trying to put this together, believe it or not. So, it was just one of those aspects of the game that, there's so many areas where this game is complicated, so, this was just something, that I just really didn't give enough attention to. So I guess, I know we advertised Liam 99, and well, what can I say? Hey, Liam. Well, he didn't really make it today, so I don't really know what happened to him. So we were supposed to have a pre-show to discuss the content of this show on Friday, and I've never heard a word from him. So hopefully everything's okay with him. He's not injured and or any kind of laid up in a hospital or anything like that. But I'm just going to go ahead and move forward without him. I think between what I got from the BV page and what I put together myself, I think we got enough information. I'm not trying to take up a whole lot of time. I'm going to try to keep this really short. If there's anybody in the Twitch chat, I guess just watch along and feel free to ask your questions, and then I'll try to, as I go through my slides, and then I'll try to address each one of them as I go through. Well, maybe at the end or something like that, because I know there's a little bit of latency. You probably don't actually see the video for about 20 seconds or so. But anyway, let me go ahead and do a screen share. Well, this first slide right here that I have is primarily put together to, it's primarily put together to try to just reflect like the visible range of each of the different subtypes. You see across the top, I have all the different subs: the Nighthawk, Reaper, Spectre, Cuda, Stalker, and Predator. Okay, and then on the left side, coming down the left side, is all these different ways of detecting them with their sonar. Okay, this is just different levels of sonar, and basically it comes all the way down to, with the Nighthawk on the very top right, has a base visibility of 60. The Viper and Inductor has a base sonar range of 80. When you put those two together, that means that Viper and Inductor can see that Nighthawk at as many as 140 units away. And just so you can understand what kind of distance that is, about each land tile in your base is 20 units. Okay, so that's from 7 units away. And if you want to think about the different kind of weapon ranges you have, there's not any kind of weapons that can cover that kind of distance. So you might as well not be submerged. You may as well just be on the surface the whole time, is really what I'm trying to demonstrate here. Going forward, I know a lot of people were curious about like Caterpillar and how that reduces your visibility. Basically, the Caterpillar Drive 3 reduces your visibility by 60%. And if you add that, like say to your Nighthawk down there that has a visible range of 60, you can actually reduce that by 36 units. You see all the way on the very bottom underneath the Caterpillar 3 column. you can reduce that by 36, which would leave you a remainder of 24. So that helps you out a great deal. And then if you include the armor, D2S armor, which you know, at 5.975%, and that's an R retrofit level 10 value, by the way, 5.975. Then you know, basically it's just showing that you can actually get your visible range reduced all the way down to 13.245, and this is against something with no sonar. I mean, you pretty much can be right next. You can actually be closer than your minimum fire range for most weapons. You know, you can get so close that you can't fire on them before they actually see you. So this slide right here really just kind of emphasizes the importance of having some type of sonar in your fleet when combating subs. So again, the previous slide. The previous slide was pretty much just trying to emphasize why you would need some kind of cloaking, okay? And then this one right here, the second one here, is basically emphasizing why you want to have some type of sonar, okay? So both of them are very important when it comes to combat. The next slide that I have here is really just to demonstrate the difference between the Caterpillar and the Magnus drive. The Magnus drive was something that was recently added to the game, and basically it combines like a Caterpillar 3 type function where basically it reduces your visibility, but it also it's like adding engines. So basically it's just a special combination, you know, but you know, when you come down to fleets like the Nighthawk here, for example, in my opinion, you know, with its visible range being so high, you know, it just seems to me that, you know, you'd want as much cloak on there as you can. I mean, this one right here, you can get the visible range all the way down to 20, which is 19.245. I'm just going to round that up to 20 because it's pretty much a land tile. But you know, if they have any kind of sonar, that's going to, this is against something with no sonar. So if they have any kind of sonar, obviously their visibility is going to be a little bit better. They're going to see you see a little bit quicker. Yeah, the Viper interdictor was the one with the thermo on it, where it basically can see anything regardless of cloak at a range of 80. Okay, but I was just trying to refer to the sonar aspect of that only. Yeah, the Viper interdictor. Yeah, that was the limited interdictor. Yes. All right. And this, you know, this was one of those slides where I was kind of hoping that, you know, I was going to have Liam on the show, and then we could actually do a couple of different, you know, comparisons where basically, if you see, you know, I have the base sonar on this on the first column. So, and that would be, you have like the sub base visibility, then you have to have the cloak efficiency from, you know, whatever special in armor you have on there, and then you'd have it going up against some kind of something with sonar, and with maybe some kind of additional sonar or something like that, just to demonstrate what a visible range might be, and basically, when you're doing this, if you look in the third column, which is cloak efficiency and cloak efficiency, where it has like Cat 3 and D2S armor, at 77.925%. And I actually took that from this slide back here with the Caterpillar. The 77.925 is under the cloak potential. That's why these columns are in yellow, is because you can actually take these numbers and then send them back over to the other slide. Oops, I went a little too far. And send them to this slide right here just to try to help the math, make the math a little bit easier. So, you know, if you wanted to take something from like the Magnus drive and bring it to this slide here, you could. But yeah, I had planned on doing some kind of exercises and maybe having some type of discussion surrounding that. Yeah, battle cruisers with sonar. I guess Captain Bitter, you want me to go ahead and maybe put that on there? Actually, I'd have to take it out of presentation mode. We'll come right back to this. Is that okay? I actually 105 sonar. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Nobody on the YouTube right now can actually see the Twitch chat, but Thor's Revenge is trying to say like 105 sonar won't see them. So maybe he's done some kind of preparation before the show himself that I'm not familiar with. But I'll just go ahead and move forward here real quick. I actually did do like a bit of a bonus slide, and this is something I kind of did afterwards. This right here is has to do with submersion surface times. It has nothing to do with the cloaking and sonar, but I know a lot of people have been pretty interested and have been mixing and matching the subs since with the Reapers. A lot of people are trying to put like a Phantom Nighthawk. That was the only one they won. They might not have got the regular Nighthawk, so they're trying to mix boats. But this right here will basically give you an idea. The surface time, well, the surface time is pretty consistent. There's no way to modify the surface time on any of these. But as far as the actual submersion time, that can be modified with the Nautilus battery as well as a stealth attack system. And I'm just pretty much just demonstrating the ranges because you can retrofit each one of those now. It's actually 2 separate retrofits in the retrofit lab. The one for the Nautilus battery, there's one just for the Nautilus battery, and there's one just for the stealth attack system. And so, you'd want to make sure you did the proper retrofit when you go in the retrofit lab. I think one of them has to do with I think the surface stealth attack system is under the concussion, and I believe the Nautilus battery is it's the one immediately after that. I can't remember what it is. It might be just called stealth or something. I don't know, or submersion. I'm not really sure. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But each one of them, they have this same retrofit pattern where basically for R1, it's an additional 3%, but it goes all the way up to R10, which is an additional 19.5%. But I just pretty much did all the math and put it on this chart. So I am going to make this chart available. Just so everybody knows, this chart will be available on the page. And I'll put a link to it too in the file section. I got a hyperlink section in there. Well, let me just go ahead and go forward here real quick, because I'm actually getting some questions on the Twitch chat. Thor's Revenge is asking me if the Magnus is worth it. And yes, I will probably be posting the slides. But anyway, some of the questions that I'd gotten on the BB page for this particular show, people are asking about thermal imaging and how the subs can barely outrange it. Now, I'm thinking this person might be somebody who's tired of fighting the Nighthawks or something like that, and or I don't know, maybe they're driving Nighthawks and they're trying to figure out how to counter the Viper. Well, the truth is there is no way to counter the thermal imaging, and if it's on a Viper, the range is 80, and there are no weapons, no torpedoes that will outrange that. So pretty much, if you're a Nighthawk owner, your really only solution is speed at that point. If they have weapons that will outrange you, they will see you and begin firing, quite honestly. The best build to defeat a sub, the second question on here. I think that particular question, it's pretty vague, and I know a lot of people, they have tendencies to look for magic bullets in this game, and the thing that you have to think about when you're building a fleet, like if you're wanting to build a fleet specifically for fighting subs, okay, you're going to want a super duper high evade, as high as you can get it, okay, because there is no armor for concussive defense. So that's number one. Number two, you're going to want speed. Okay, the speed will help. I mean, you can beat subs without the speed. Okay, if you know how to drive them. If you're a good enough driver. Okay, and I say that because you can pretty much fan out and you can corner people. And then basically, if you narrow their ways out and you get them trapped in a corner, then obviously the odds are in your favor. And so it's driving is very important, but more important to just give you the longevity. You want your evade as high as you can get it. If you can get 80% evade, that's awesome, awesome. And road crews help too. There's road crews that will give you evade. The sonar versus the cloak math, the third one down, is something that I think I just pretty much covered. Bacon, that I knew I put that answer in there is because anytime you ask a question on the BV page, somebody always has to put bacon in there. So I just went ahead and I took care of it myself this time, and I'm glad to see it got 37 votes. I'm surprised it didn't get more. Somebody says Magnus is not worth the loss of 10%. That looks more like a statement to me and not really a question. And quite honestly, I think it really just depends on the circumstance. I think if you have like a Nautilus battery, if you have a Nautilus battery Spectre fleet, for example, that Magnus, put that in place of your engines, it could probably come in quite handy, I would think, especially when you're having to worry about gargoyles and such. It could come in handy. Reapers, that's a very interesting question. I really don't understand it. Just Reapers. Faster ships to catch subs. Zombie sub solutions. Right now, as far as zombie subs go, zombie subs they've come about because of the expense of the game. People are just looking for ways to compete smarter. Is because there's a lot of guys in here that they spend an awful lot of coin. I mean, it's really important to them for the game to be easy, I guess. There's people out here with a lot of coin, and they have top-notch pretty much everything. They pay for it, and they're looking for an edge, and they're willing to pay for it. So zombie subs are from people who pretty much they're not going to coin for whatever reason. I mean, and the only way to fix that really is to talk to Kixeye. I don't know that it's really a problem. I mean, I don't like fighting zombie subs when I'm at full health. But there's been times when I've actually zombied my subs as well. For example, I know I just did the Let It Burn campaign, and at one point I had lost my Nighthawk, so I just put a coin on each one, and I went back, and I put a coin repair on each one, and I went back in. I mean, I guess it's still better than zombie, but I could have done a few seconds or whatever, but I like some kind of staying power. And zombie subs, I mean, they're sacrificing too, right? The detection range of all types of subs. I think I pretty much covered that as well. And the best setup for attacking a base defense fleet. Right now, I think Nighthawks are king. The Nighthawks are king. I mean, the Spectres obviously paved the way. They're like the original base guard prepper. But these Nighthawks, they have a lot more range as far as submerging because they're so fast. They don't stay down as long, but they can go a lot further, and they can cover a lot more distance. That's basically what my point is while they're under than a Spectre can. So I think the best setup for an attacking a base defense fleet, quite honestly, I think it'd be Nighthawks. If you can do the Phantom Nighthawk with that and have 5 boats, it'd be even better. A lot of people are sticking with the Assault Torp Bs. I'm going with the Siege Torp Zs, and I've retrofitted them to max because that just increases the bonus. Just increases the damage. And all of the bonus damages are reflected on that, and that includes the building damage. So when your standard damage goes up, so does your building damage, so does the bonus radioactive damage of the Siege Torp Cs. That's what I'm using, and of course you do get more a combat speed bonus from the Siege Torp Zs as well, which again just increases your range. For specials, let me see here. Actually, maybe I should just pull up what I'm doing. and just share that with everybody. And pros and cons of each type of sub. You know, to me, I think a lot of that's pretty obvious. I mean, you know, obviously the biggest con with the Nighthawk is its visibility range. Is I don't know how it is that they managed to make the visibility range. It's 60. The Reaper is 55, and it doesn't even fully submerge. Is how they pitched that one to us. But the Nighthawk is more visible than that. That boggles my mind. But that's how it is, and it's very streamlined too. I mean, it's a large, fast sub, but that's obviously the biggest con with the Nighthawk. So the pros and cons, I mean, that's something you're just going to figure out. I mean, obviously, the armor points is going to be a thing, speed is going to be a thing, special slots is going to be a thing, weapon slots, and armor slots. All of that, everything is important. So. And let me see, next is sonar and thermal imaging, if they affect each other or not. Sonar, they don't have any influence. They're two completely separate attributes, two different completely separate ways of, detecting subs. And they don't affect each other whatsoever. You know, obviously the thermal imaging, you know, there is no counter for that right now. So whatever thermal imaging, that's as close as you're going to get, no matter how much sonar, or I'm sorry, no matter how much cloaking you have, you're going to be visible at that range. So it's really just to be familiar with your enemy. And you know, the Viper's 80. What's that new boat called? The Interceptor. I think that's what, a 64 or something like that. So just know your enemy. And the 64, obviously, those can be outranged, but those guys there, they've got a lot of other stuff going for them. They can hold like mad armor, and you can have really good evade and all that stuff on there. How do all the extras work on subs details of abilities they give to subtypes? I don't really understand that question. Maybe that's why it only got 2 votes. But anyway, I guess I'm going to go over to the Twitch chat real quick and see if I can cover what these guys were mentioning over here. Are Reapers any good to prep bases with? I think Reapers can be good. I mean, obviously, you know, if you look hard enough, you'll probably end up finding a base crappy enough, you know. And I don't mean to sound overly negative with that comment, but I'm just saying there's a lot of bad bases out there. And, you know, I'm sure there's still bases you can get out there with floating fortresses if you looked hard enough, and you could find one eventually. So Reapers, I do think they are still good for prepping bases with, particularly. I think that's the only sub that the Nighthawk didn't make obsolete, is because the Reaper, if you put the downpour missiles on there, I'm sorry, the tow missiles. They're called downpour missiles, right? But anyway, that's the missiles that are designed to fire while submerged, and the Reaper has the special slots that accommodate that particular weapon, they're both very unique. I think they still have a place in the game. I mean, if you are fortunate enough to have them built, you know, I never got me a fleet built. You know, they've been out for nearly a year, and I've gotten one started. I probably have 4 or 5 tow missiles on it, but you know, unless you're a big coiner and you can handle a fleet, I don't have it yet. But I do think they still have a place. You know, 25% of a base, you know, people just don't prep anymore right now, is because of all the overpowered fleets. But that may be changing soon, and maybe you'll see more Reaper preps. But I still think they have a place in the game. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling the Twitch chat real quick just to see if I can see. Will Kixeye ever come out with retargetable torps? You know, that could happen. I mean, I'm not Kixeye, so I can't say for sure. I mean, you know, I'm a player just like you are. You know, so your guess is as good as mine. It seems to me like it you know, it's another one of those game changers, you know, if they did something like that. You know, so I mean, it could be cool. I mean, if you're sub guy, you'll probably jump to those like right away. Let me see. Thor's Revenge asked me how much less cloak do you get with the Magnus with Cat 3. Well, let me just jump back to that slide, and I'll just show you. Okay, real quick. Let me. Sorry, I'm just got to navigate my slides here. Now, obviously, the Caterpillar is 60%. The Magnus drive is 50. Okay, and if you're going up against a zero sonar hull, you know, let's just say Seawolves, okay, because they don't have any sonar, but the visibility range for that would be a 30. They would see you at 30, which is 1.5 land tiles away. So that's pretty close. That is you can get pretty close before they actually see you, and that's not even considering the with the D2S armor. Okay, and if you did the same thing with Cat 3. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. The Cat 3 would be 24 because this is how much it takes off, 36. So that would leave 24. So that's just a little over a land tile as well. So I think hopefully I answered your question with that, Thor's Revenge. And let's see here. Gonna turn that screen share back off. And let's see. But with my Knothawks, I'm definitely sticking with Cat 3, just so you know. I'm sticking with Cat 3. But I am doing the stealth attack system also. And now I guess when you asked if I was talking about Panda, maybe you were talking to somebody else. Are Reapers still good to pret? Magnus, 67.9 battery 3s, people doing math. I love seeing people do math, by the way. You know, I love that. Even, you know, I'm wrong. There's just a lot of things that I miss from time to time. And so it's really good to have more than one people doing the same function. And, you know, and I don't have a problem being wrong. You know, I don't mind being corrected, you know. I don't mind it a bit, you know. And now if it's just an opinion and you think my opinion is wrong because your opinion is different, then you don't need to tell me about it, you know, unless you think you can sell me on it. But hard to see some slides. Oh, I did have some small font in that one, so I apologize for that. But hopefully, you know, when I share the slides on the BV page, they'll be better visible for you. Now, Reapers don't fully submerge fully. Yeah, yes, that is true. The Reapers don't submerge fully. They even, you know, if they're detected and things start to fire at them, they take 25% damage of, you know, they don't take 100% of the damage. They just have 75% across the board immunity, I guess. And so, and the justification for that was that they're not fully submerged. And when you actually detect them, you can see like a little shark fin sticking out, you know, off the top. But which it just kills me that it's still stealthier than the Nighthawk. I just don't really get that. And oh yeah. Well, Panda is a big coiner. He's obviously not the biggest, but he is a really big coiner. I don't know what his budget is, but it's a lot higher than mine. But I guess some folks wanted to see my my subs. Let me go ahead and pull it up for you. And so I'm just I'm loading up Kixeye right now. I wasn't really prepared to show that particular. I wasn't prepared to show anything, but I'll show it. I don't mind. Just because y'all asked so nicely over here in the Twitch chat. All right. Let me go back to a screen share again. All right. Now everybody can see my base. And I just pull up my shipyard because I actually have another one. I've got 3 done already, and this is number 4. And you see I'm using all 7 Siege Torp Zs, and I've got them completely retrofitted to R10. I'm using 3 D2S armors. I am doing the Speed System 3 currently. I'm intending to change that at some point. It's just once I get them ranked up high enough, your turn speed goes up, then I might go ahead and switch them back over to engines so that I can get a higher combat speed. But I am doing the Stealth Attack System 3. And I'm doing the Cat 3, and in my opinion, I think this particular build will be good for a lot of things. I think it'll be, and it's proven to be good against a lot of things. I've used it for prep and dredges. I use it for, I haven't really subbed out any bases yet. Well, not any hard bases. I haven't seen any like extremely long channels that I've gone in and tore up yet, but I am anxious to try that at some point. And but yeah, this is what I'm currently building, and I really like it. I don't have the coin right now. I've got 289, and this is currently costs another 518. And I have an allowance. Once my coin is gone, it's gone, and I don't know what I might need it for. I might need it for dock repairs. I mean, quite honestly, I get hit fairly often, so. But anyway, I guess this concludes the subspecial, and I guess just if you could like my page, subscribe to it here on YouTube, that would be great. And I have been doing a lot of Twitch streams lately, just doing live gameplay for Battle Pirates, and it seems a lot of people seem to really appreciate those too. I'm trying to keep all of the video links down to around 30 minutes or so. I do have one that's probably like an hour and a half. It wasn't me hitting dredges, but you can always use your slider and fast forward, go around. But I do dialogue throughout my Twitch streams, and I do have my own Twitch.tv page that I use that Twitch chat while I'm doing it. So I do interact with people on my Twitch chat. 70% sub should be engine 3. The best flagship for a fleet of Nighthawks is the Phantom Nighthawk. I mean, honestly, and yeah, there's no question there, because you're invisible on the map. There's a lot of. It's really nice to be able to leave a fleet out all the time. And if my base gets hit and they manage to kill my dock, a lot of people don't. They're pretty nice. I put my dock on the outside of my base, on the opposite side of my entrance. So hopefully they leave it alone. But I keep that out there. So even if I'm repairing, I don't have to spend my coin on dock repairs. I can still find something to do with my Nighthawks, even if it's going out sinking fleets. I haven't really done any of that, but these things are a lot of fun to drive, and so I understand why people do it. But I like people watching the show and not coming on trying to troll me, so I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of that fleet smashing, unless there's a memorial. So, but anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this guy up. Thanks for coming out to the Twitch chat. I do appreciate it, and I appreciate your questions. I appreciate all the contributions on the BV page as well. If you'd like to see more of these on different topics, just let me know, and I'll see what I can do. Have a good day, everybody. Oh, our group page, by the way, is bp.battlevortex.tv. That'll actually redirect you to our Facebook group page, and please come on there and be a member. We provide a lot of different training, educational content. So take care.